Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology Replay. So on the top right side is the red Tsukuyomi. We got DoD Golden Royale. Spawn on the south side is the cyan Oranos. We got Arrow. I wonder if you'll have arrows. Either way, when it comes to major and minor gods, we got Oranos, the vision and mobility god. Citizens can build new sky patches per age. Units can enter sky patches and instantly teleport between the two. All units have plus 4 line of sight. Very nice. Oracles generate 25% more favor when in full line of sight. Damage units remain visible for 25 seconds. So, good vision stuff. Of course, got the excellent god power Shockwave to disrupt enemy formation, sky passages. And Empyrean Speed, infantry just get plus 10% movement speed, which combined with the Whitelist Mace upgrade, can give you absurdly fast Catapultus. Either way, when it comes to his minor gods, look up this screen since you can see stuff in the background. We got Oceanus, provides access to the Carnivora, the Servant, Caladria, Whitelist Mace, improving the counter cavalry units speed and damage, and which does double stack the hero variant, which gets them up to like something like absurd speed. I can't remember. It's like in 6 range, right? Can't remember. By the Shark can increase gives Marmellos and Fanatics 5% damage and pathetic amount of bleed damage. Not really that great, and reduce cost for promotions. Or Prometheus, give Valor, Promethean, the Promethean Offspring upgrade, the faster promotion, and make your citizens excellent. They shall do their part. Tsukuyomi, of course, is the major god. Technology Shinobi Cavalry increases Shinobi Cavalry damage per Bushido tier up to 20% if I remember correctly. Advanced next age is 25% faster, and a free Kitsune spawns at the temple at each age as well. His unique god powers, age 1 god powers, one of the strongest in the game, in my opinion. Research all the technology there that's available for free and instantly. And of course you get a nice little bit of extra damage on your towers and fortresses with a little line of sight. When it comes to the minor gods, Inaria Okami is usually the default choice, it seems like, for right now the Japanese. You get the Swamplands God Power, which is an excellent God Power, very powerful. I think it needs to be toned down a little bit. The Jorogumo, which I really don't see her deploy all too often, so I'm not so sure about her. Wisdom 9 gives it greatly improve the effects of your Kitsune, gives them increase the aura bonus and plus 75% health. Making myth units give you a bit of gold, 50% damage for the damage they dealt on their initial strikes. And make your cavalry have 10% hit points and make them a bit more effective versus other cavalry units. Versus Ame no Uzame, which of course gives you replace some of your myth units, barring the Kitsune. A Whirlwind Weasel, they're not very fast, as you would imagine Weasel, but I think they're a decent frontline damage dealer. Infantry units get 10% hit points and Bushido experience upon death. And of course you get better Mikos, which gather work for shrines, so 10% more favor generation. And of course plus the 2 range for their favor collection, which can be quite nice. But either way, we do have Inaria Okami being researched versus Prometheus. Prometheus, of course, will bring us up some Promethean. Only if you have Bob to support him out, or so Prometheus can educate Bob. I wonder if anybody's seen those claymation shorts. They're stupid. There's the Kitsune. Let's see. The new moon has not been deployed out just yet. But hold off onto it. A lot of good targets for it. You can get to upgrade your Kitsune immediately. And Kitsune they're not strong, but they are cheap. 25 food is basically exotic doggo begging the table for scraps. And then you give it instead as offerings. Another Valor God Power, prod on some citizens to do their part. I recently replayed a bit of the Starship Trooper Terran Command. Fun single player RTS. Oh, looks like some of the relics are the exotic kitty cats, the golden lions. They're not great, but they're free. Oracle's not heroic. The goats, that's a fair number of goats. Red could actually steal these goats. Red does not steal the goats. Goats, of course, the goat. We got another Kasune here. Gumo, I think should be a bit more defensive. It seems like since the Kasune are quick and tend to be accompanied with Naginata riders, it's probably a good idea just to keep her on defense and protect, say, your gold deposit, things of the sort. Marmelos takes out one of the Kitsune. Naginata riders are going to have a bit of trouble versus the heroic Marmelos. More valor. He wants his heroic citizens. And looks like Red's back on up. Blue is looking a little bit outnumbered. Goes for some Turmas. I think people over rely on this unit. It's a counter range unit. He's fighting against not ranged units. We do now have the Empyrean speed, which greatly improves the infantry movement speed.
Skopos?
Let's get some hits there. He's trying to get out some more of the Copper Peltus. Shockwave there. I don't know if that was worth it. Does split up the formation, and Red did a good job of splitting the formation. We do now have the Theft of Fire to make your citizens, heroic citizens, 20% more effective. Looks like she does go ahead and snare the Oracle and then sends her away and kills him off. So she's a great way to instantly kill those Oracles.
Yuji?
Turmo's not pushing their way forward. Like most mounted range units, they're pretty slow at 5 range. No heroic citizen to do their part.
Burek. Skopos?
Blue sending infantry units there. Got a good number of counter cavalry units. Does bring the swamplands, so some of these guys may be grabbed. Does grab some of the Turmas. And Blue's force here will be cleaned on up. None of these Naginata riders were quite wounded, but looks like they will be picked off. I don't think that God of Power was worth it there. What did I hear? Oh, looks like the Golden Lions are eating some of the villagers. Got what, 2 villagers there? Very nice. Cyber now has 32 civilians on the field versus Red's 25. Sky Passage and Manor there. Oracles in the back line. We got actually a good number of Oracles on the field. Looks like I count 4. Which is more than the default 3. Right now, Oranos is having 20 favor per minute. Not too bad. Tsukuyomi right now is having 5 per minute, 4 per minute, not great.
Skopos?
Promethean taking a bit of damage there. It looks like Fred is starting to build another town center.
Yuji?
Promethean and Marmelo push it forward. Looks like the Gumo is starting to get picked off by the Marmelo, heroic Marmelo. Does get saved there. Got more Peltus, taking out the Naginata Rider. Looks like the town center firing away. Villagers backing off to the town center does save them.
Ure.
More knocking out our riders from pulling the field, but also got some samurai to counter the infantry unit. Very nice. While Tsukuyomi is focused around cavalry as well as shinobi. Shinobi are more of an anti-range unit, but samurai will at least provide a little bit of Bushido experience. And he sort of does need the medium upgrade sooner rather than later, so uploading a handful of them would help out that as well.
Skopos.
A number of units here. Red's trying to build another water mill there to grind these caribou into a thin red paste. Looks like Cyan's going to do that as well. Does bring another Valor Power, this time on a Marmello. Big ground reinforcements there. Doesn't really need them heroic fight, but does improve their damage and other capabilities by a small amount.
Ure.
Try and get as much quality as possible, but red just simply has numbers. There's another shockwave there. How shocking. And the one Mythology here is still actually alive, but she won't be able to do much against all these heroes. But thanks to all the cavalry, now medium cavalry, able to repel this assault because they weren't properly a counterforce to them. Chariot bullets are being summoned to help counter the samurai, as well as more Marmellos being a general frontline, which shinobi can be useful against the Marmellos. Marmellos have low range armor, and shinobi does range damage in melee. So they will get a bit of bonus damage into that aspect as well. Not to mention counter the Termas hard, the Chariot Ballista hard, and the couple cultists, they actually are pretty low in range armor as well, so I think Shinobi wouldn't be a good call by red. Samurai's not a bad call either. Shinobi are pretty squishy. Does use Valor there to recover its health. Samurai could turn around and engage that heroic Marmello. Marmellos started stepping away. Miko gained some health regen onto some of these villagers. Red's pushing forward, trying to find some of those units. There's a small number of medals there. New Moon has not been researched just yet. I've seen times people put them onto watermills, since watermills both acts as food and wood drop off, which means you get those upgrades. We'll see, keeping this New Moon maybe for next age, not sure. Oh, Shockwave summoned. May have knocked around some samurai there. Got some Chariot Ballista now pulled on the field. Knocking out our riders falling back. Do not have Hyperion queued on up. We do have 2 villager queues for red. Sign does also have 2 villager queues. Some of these villagers starting to get hit there. And there's age up for Oranos. And there's a Chaos God power. Termos can't really move forward and engage. But they will use it to opportunity to escape. Don't think that was really worth it though. These Termos, they're unupgraded Termos. I don't think it was worth it using the Chaos God power on that. Bannerman's now being researched, which is a very good idea to help counter out some cavalry units, but his opponent's still good at these number of Termos. But still, Termos are anti-range, they're really not good at anything else. His opponent's not deploying out any range, so... Though the Bannerman upgrade does increase health of his cavalry as well by 10%, which is still very important. He just got the heavy upgrade, so now he has H3 units versus H3 units, which is good enough for now. Not to mention his cavalry gets additional firepower. Right now they're at the plus 12%. And looks like the Naginata Rider is going straight for the Cherry Ballista, which all classifies range and siege. Does going to pick off Sion's army there quite nicely. Who's going to be, or Sion needs to start regrouping his forces. Good number of samurai there, so Cherry Ballista will still be good. Naginata Riders are still there in some numbers. Contineris could be a good option, but the Naginata Riders with the Bannerman upgrade are simply superior to the Contineris. And Contineris, I was going to say, does not get countered by Samurai, but it's still pretty beefy. Argus Archers would be definitely a good option versus the Samurai. Just good generalist unit there.
Skopos.
Offering pretty good range. He's going for a number of archers, going for medium infantry and medium range, and looks like bronze weapons.
Yuji. Skopos.
Argus now raiding some villagers. Not exactly a raiding tool, but looks like they're doing decently well. Hachiman now being researched. Heavy infantry queued on up. Heavy range being researched. And Chaos is off cooldown. Just need a slight more favor, and I just say that he is now going for multiple upgrade, including heroic renewal, as well as the Sons of Suns. Make your oracles all heroic. The heroic part of the oracles is just free and instant, which is very nice to have, which will help improve favor generation. Sion has max out villagers. Red does not. Oh, down south. Right now, it seems like Fanatics would be a good call for Oranos, but that is an H4 unit. You need to get a Rhea to get that in H3, which is pretty nice for Gaia, who also gets all of her economic research in H3, giving her a lot less reasons to actually go H4 in general. We've got heroic destroyers there, valiant but being home wreckers. Oranos is far from aging up, has too much ward stored up, and we've got the Shogun summoned somewhere. Every 100 damage the Shogun does, it will summon one free samurai.
Yuji.
Good number of Argus Archers. There is a pretty good amount of cavalry there, so a couple Paltas will be a great option to help stop them. Looks like more heroic oracles being summoned, but right now he's at pop cap. Oh, there's a research there on the armory, getting his bronze upgrades going, and the golden kite. Destroyers, heroic destroyers engaging the town center. I am curious if the destroyers actually make it to the town center. He's repairing the town center now. Destroyers are taking a beating. Destroyers actually do to the town center. Very nice. I am curious about the, let's see, Golden Kite. That's not the one for health regen. I wonder if the health regen upgrade that is provided by Hachiman affects the Shogun. If it does, that would be great. Just pull back the Shogun in between fights and heal it up. I'm assuming Mikos can't heal it up like the son of Osiris. It can't be healed by priests or pharaohs. Red has a sizable army there. Blue or Cyan has a sizable army here. More samurai, more Naginata riders queued on up. Trigger Ballista getting overran. Chaos God powered right over there. How the Chaos God power be used over here. The Shogun's ticket there, bit of damage there. Helpers trying to engage these Naginata riders. And the Shogun does lose its cavalry typing, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't receive bonus damage from cavalry, or anti-cavalry. Does get picked off there, Shogun's down. Naginata riders on the flank, trying to take out these Argus archers. Tengu does jump his way forward. Fortified town center has been researched. Containers trying to focus down some of these villagers, medium containers. And red will clean up those Cyan units. Cyan does have max up villagers. Red has at 54. Cyan has a production queue going, but may need to get some more production structures going. And Cyan's actually not a pop captain. Actually has a pretty small army. He needs more production structures, that's for sure. Cyan's also trying to build this town, so there. Red's trying to go for a castle. Sky Passage. Load up a bunch of civilians to do their part. Does cancel the structure and go chase those villagers through the ends of the earth, which is located right there. Take that, globetards. Let's take out some of these commoners. Got a palace up here. So that will, oh, got a big heroic wave there. I don't think that was a good idea, especially the Argus Archers. The Argus Archers won't be particularly useful right here. Over here, we've got some of these units being intercepted and cleaned on up. We're also seeing some shinobi being deployed on the field. Cyan's trying to go for a town center here as well. You'd probably better off finding all of his unheroic citizens, start just heroicifying them, rather than trying to heroicify some of those Argus archers. Shinobi torching down some of these fortifications. So looks like bowling oil has not been researched. Oh, here looks like these destroyers have found the fortified town center, but this time it's fortified. Has a bit more armor and health to work with. Precisely increase the hit points. Actually doesn't increase any armor, that's just the masonry upgrades and all that sort, and court architects. So if Red has any issues with destroyers destroying his buildings, get the what's it called? Black Mason's upgrade improves. Actually, no, that doesn't improve armor either. What upgrade improves the armor again for structures? Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe they don't get upgrades like that. Destroyers trying to destroy this town center. Sign has a pretty good production queue now going, able to be aggressive, particularly the fact that he is now maxed on civilians. These citizens need to hide away in the palace. Right, some armed units over here, but Sign just simply getting overwhelmed by numbers. He does also have the Bushido tier 4 now. So now he has a age up advantage while aging up. Argus Archer is doing some good long range damage right now. And Red has enough favor for another one of his god powers. All of them seem pretty good to me at the moment. I actually think the Shogun's probably the least useful. I think the New Moon, save it from next age up and then get some really good stuff. And it looks like Oranos is aging up to a Helios, which give you access to the Centimanus, also the Hecate Gigantus, Mirror Towers, Hail Sun, Petrification, and Taitomaki. A number of samurais here, pretty wounded. Shinobi's pushing way forward. Gonna make short board of the Sky Passage. More Shinobi being summoned. All cavalry and Shinobi get plus 16% increased damage. Shinobi taking out that town center, citizens trying to repair it up. Shinobi have crush damage attack, and that town center does go down. More Argus Archers being put in field, so Shinobi will be a good option against them. And it looks like they're stabbing these villagers, and they do get a bit of attack damage and movement speed buff thanks to their charge attack and jutsu. They do have good range armor. Of course, they technically are countered by these. What's it called? They are classified infantry, so they are technically countered by Argus Archers, but their range armor should help counteract that. To a certain extent, at least. Not gonna lie, Rider's gonna rip apart these heavy Argus. And do now the age up for Oranos. Tsukuyomi will need a bit more food before he can age it up. He probably has a castle in the field for the requirements at least. I thought I saw one built earlier. Maybe I'm mistaken, so we may still need to rebuild that. Ooh, I forgot about Helios' god power. That is excellent god power. Ambushes the villagers, who gets knocked around a little bit. He has sort of recovered his villager numbers compared to his opponent. Oh, thanks to the terrain deformation, they do a long-range attack there. Takes out a fair number of villagers. Hides in the town center. Another Shogun summon. Champion Argus Archer is now researched. Halo of the Sun improves the Fire Siphon damage. And Heavy Argus Archers get +1 range and line of sight, and also increase their damage by 10%. And further gets increased of their Heroic 5 by another... just doubling the effects of it. We do now have the Okinu-mushi, which I believe this is a really good minor god for not only Tsukuyomi, but it could be quite nice for Amaterasu as well. Because if you combine this with New Moon onto a castle, you'll get draft horses and the mechanical artisans. Your siege crossbows, which pierce everything in the line, such as these tight formations, will effectively get plus 100% damage and like plus 6 range, increasing the range from 24 to 30, and their not crush damage, but their pierce damage will be like 50. He's pretty powerful for if you want to go with mass siege weapons. Daimyo taking on the Heka Gigantus, so he will get some free samurai start slicing it apart. Combat teleport there and brings reinforcements. Pretty good vortex there, I think. But he's still lacking anti-cavalry tools. Daimyo's slowly being picked on off. And Red does resign. This ain't great saying anything, watching, and on to next replay.